Bonsai was an outgrowth for me from martial arts. I had acquired a black belt in Taekwondo from a Korean master. When I was 16, I started competing nationally. I was close to becoming a top 10 US fighter. And I decided to go to university instead of trying to make a career using my bones and muscles for the rest of my life. So, but as a result of interest in martial arts and Eastern things, I started to get into dwarf trees or bonsai. Bonsai is a miniaturization of a tree, although it is an interpretation of nature. It is not, for me, meant to be a duplication of a tree in the wild. So my trees tend to be a commingling of the traditional and contemporary in bonsai design. This particular tree is the result of a cutting, a very small cutting that was taken from a trunk, an Elaeagnus trunk, or gumi flower and berry tree as they're known. And I was able to root that. While this was growing from nothing, I worked on the trunk to create the parent tree. So I have two of these. This is the smaller of the two, and the parent tree is significantly bigger and quite beautiful. So this in particular is an Elaeagnus pungens, a gumi flower and berry tree. As you can see, there are some flowers starting to come out. This tree flowers in the fall, which is unusual. And they're very fragrant. I'm standing here smelling this little cluster of flowers. The leaves are very leathery. It's very disease resistant. So I developed a feeding program years ago called superfeeding. And most people globally who are involved with bonsai have heard of it and have tried it. I'm not saying it's the best method, but for me it worked well to accelerate growth in trees. So I was able to get basically 2 years of growth in 1 year with new trees. This Elaeagnus is planted in a Japanese soil, akadama. Akadama has an excellent cation exchange capacity. Cations are positively charged nutrients like nitrogen and calcium and potassium. What happens is the akadama will absorb the fertilizer and gradually release it to the root system. Whereas if you're using a highly aggregate soil, almost all of what you're using to feed the tree washes through. So I've had good luck with the akadama soil over the years. And 40 years later, this is where we are with this tree. So pruning of the foliage, the branches, shaping with wire, and then manipulation of the root system. The best way to get into bonsai is to not buy extremely expensive material. Buy some basic tools, which are essentially a shear, a concave cutter, a wire cutter, a pot that will be appropriate given what you expect to do with that tree or given the current size of the tree, wire, some soil, and basically at that point, can you do it on your own? Absolutely. I hope they develop an awareness of what can be experienced through working very intimately with a tree and understand what it takes to develop that tree throughout a segment of your life or throughout the remainder of your life. It's an unusual experience. And when you develop something that is appreciated by others, something that becomes at least beautiful in the eyes of many people, I think it's a remarkable experience. For someone like me who's detail-oriented and enjoys working with nature, this has been just a perfect union. And I would like people to feel comfortable asking me questions when I work on this. And I'm always glad to provide whatever insight and guidance that I can. I'm also pleased to participate this year in the silent auction as the bonsai artist who will be providing seats to individuals who decide to bid on those seats. And those seats will be for a workshop with me. And you'll bring a tree of your choice, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced practitioner. You'll bring your tools, you'll bring your wire, and I'll be there to work with you on the future direction of your tree. I will also be providing a dwarf, a Hinoki tree. I'll be working on that here, completing the styling and the wiring. It will be potted, and that will be available to someone who would like to take home something that I've at least started from nursery stock material. And I think that could end up being a great experience for you. I hope you'll participate in the bidding.